Hey everyone, Zeph and Moses here, and in this video, this is our gear guide video, we're going to talk about the differences between 3 of the different Decimator converters. Now, I've featured these in other videos, so make sure to click those links down below if you want the full video on each one. We have the MD-LX, the MD-HX, and the 12G Cross. Now, what am I using these for in my live streams? Typically, it's just to convert HDMI to SDI or SDI to HDMI, as well as to be able to scale, but not all of these do that. So let's go down the line real quick and talk about the differences. The MD-LX is one of the converters that allows you to convert bidirectionally, meaning HDMI to SDI and SDI to HDMI. You can do that simultaneously, so the beauty of this is you can convert 2 things at the same time, but it does not have any scaling built in. Now, one of the other nice features of this is that if you have an HDMI input, you can loop that input to the output as well as convert it to SDI. So you essentially get 2 flavors of outputs, SDI and HDMI, from one feed. You can do the opposite by taking an SDI feed, looping it to the output, and then also sending it to the HDMI. So you get 2 outputs. Now, moving down the line, we've got the MD-HX, and this is the next step up in using your converters and your scalers. This is where the scaler comes into play. The MD-HX is going to be compatible up to 1080p at 60 frames per second. So this means that you can input anything below that, you can scale it, you can convert it. It's a beautiful thing, and it's got some great troubleshooting tools that we talk about in those videos that I link to down below. Now, the big difference between the MD-HX and the 12G Cross is just what it says in the title. The 12G Cross allows for a 4K signal. So this can scale 4K down to 1080. You cannot send a 4K feed into the MD-HX, it just won't see it. So you've got to graduate up to the 12G Cross if you want to work with 4K feeds. So these are always with me in my cases, coming on to every single live stream. There's a few different purposes depending on which Decimator you choose, but I highly recommend having at least a few of each of these in your kit. For right now, I just have one of the 12G Crosses because they're a little tougher to find and because I don't have a full 4K workflow just yet, but it's going to be very helpful when I have a 4K camera that needs to scale to 1080 to go into my ATEM switchers. The MD-HXs, I probably have 3 or 4 of these in every single case that I take onto a live stream. They just come in handy so frequently, and they're a great troubleshooting tool when you need to scale that signal in case it's flickering or having some weird issues. And then of course the bidirectionals are really good for just getting an HDMI out of a camera that might not have SDI and converting it over to SDI to go into your switcher. Those links to all 3 of these are below. Like I mentioned before, they're a little bit tougher to find, so you might have to have some patience with them, but as you find them, build up your collection because these are going to be a must-have in any live streaming kit. Thanks so much for watching this gear guide video, and don't forget to check out the individual videos on each of these linked to down below.